Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for October 25th through the 31st of 2020. Now I do my best to get these out on Friday, so I just want to give you a heads up that next weekend it might come out a little early on Thursday because I'll be traveling. But our week kicks off with Mercury retrograde linking up with the Sun, which it does pretty much every time it goes retrograde. It has a time where it renews the cycle of Mercury. And since it's the fastest one, it goes the quickest, which is basically about 3 months, and then we do it again. So getting used to Mercury retrograde in an annual way is pretty useful. And in our case, 2020, Mercury's been retrograding in water signs, reviewing our emotional realms and how we process things emotionally, and then going forward in the air realms, which is opening us up to new ideas and possibilities once we have actually processed the emotions, right? Well, 2021, Mercury is going to go backwards in all air signs. That's Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini, which means we're going to have some access to some new ideas for sure, but we're going to have to pull back to do the sorting and sifting. And then knowing your own elemental balance is useful as well. For example, I have very little air. So to have that much activity in air signs is going to actually plug into my chart and stabilize things in a way that's pretty useful. And you can do it too. So wherever Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra are for you is where the renewal will happen in your consciousness in the new year. So it's always, a response to the last thing, preparation for the next thing. But this activation speaks to the renewal and the ability to express yourself on many levels. And I will often remind you with Mercury, Sun, or Venus, those three in particular, when they are activating us personally, it helps us glow a little bit, right? It helps our light shine more authentically, especially when it's our own Sun, Mercury, or Venus, right? But in this case, it's up in the sky, so it's illuminating things that you've already been doing the review on, and hopefully exploring the last 3 months so you can prepare for the next 3 months. But in general, communication is the focus, and you do have some access to some powerful energy that helps you make an impression on others, because this is kind of the communication planet getting with the Sun, lighting up the energies for now, helping us express in new ways. But it's Scorpio, so that's kind of personal, private, soul level, and maybe not as overt as you might expect. But it is a renewal there. And in that case, it's a renewal of your conceptions. What do you want to conceive going forward? And in order to conceive something new going forward, how can you release any toxic emotions or toxic relationships and situations that no longer serve you? Or maybe they're not even toxic, they've just run their course, they're complete. And something needs to die so that some new life can come in. Something needs to be cleared out of the way so a new idea, in this case because it's Mercury, can come in. So if you need to make an impression on others, you'll be able to, and you'll be picking up information this week a lot because it ends with the full moon lighting things up there too. So I even have some bonus material for that. But pay attention. This is a time when sometimes we're recognized for our contributions, or maybe something you say illuminates something for someone else and they have their aha moments. And I just talked to a friend and colleague about this, how we all get the same download very often. Shanta channels the angels, Leela channels the vastness of being. I look at the planets, and then we get together and it's like, oh yeah, I got that message. I got that message too. So don't freak out when you find out that people that are operating from different modes of thinking are picking up the same vibration and the same messages, because they are. And that just validates it. That just confirms that there's a communication happening. And during a Mercury retrograde, the communication changes to a little bit more spiritual like that. And we should be looking more at symbols and signs than actual words and things. And of course, the typical Mercury retrograde review, revise, go back over, there's something you missed. So in the Libra Scorpio department, we're rewiring how we think about those things. And in general, Libras are regular relationships, and Scorpio usually represents our intimate partnerships. So it's all getting an upgrade right now, right? So I threw in this extra little note. It's not really an activation for the 27th, but it's such an interesting day. This is a special day energetically, I say. Mercury retrograde is re-entering Libra after the Scorpio meeting with the Sun. Check it out. Then 2 days later, it moves back into Libra, asking us to continue the review process, but in a different department now. In Scorpio, you may have been sifting through emotions and feelings that need to be processed, but the vibration is shifting to our ideas, thoughts, and concepts of balance, harmony, and cooperative relationships of all kinds. We need to rethink how we interact with each other and come up with new ways that are more effective in the here and now. The same day, Venus moves into Libra too, so we are blessed to have our sacred feminine guiding the rest of the retrograde. And she's in her home sign, which makes her even stronger. We should be guided by our hearts and holding the vision of balance for all life. Right now, we have extremes playing out internally, externally, and environmentally. So the more we can hold our own center during changing or transitional times, the more likely we can come through to the other side with some kind of new wisdom and understanding. So this is interesting because our consciousness gets sparked, our values shift focus, that wakes up another part of our consciousness. And now on the 31st, the sun opposes Uranus on the exact day of the full moon. So it's opposing Moon and Uranus, who are together in the exact degree opposite the sun. So this is a very powerful alignment, bringing a collective planet into a fairly personal dynamic that we deal with every month in the full moon, right? And we only get the full moon in Taurus release once a year. And the Scorpio new moon, we only get once a year. So this is a powerful boost, let's say, to our full moon release work. It's allowing us to light things up and have those aha moments and the illuminations that are coming in right now, getting you present to what's really, really important for you, the individual. And it's liberating you from some kind of confine that you've outgrown, essentially. We want to be open. With the moon, we're always looking at our personal security and things, and Uranus gets there and shakes things up. But in Taurus, it's just waking up your body. I think, this is my interpretation, I think that Uranus there is waking up our body and bringing all our senses online so they become the communicators they've always been meant to be, right? Our hearing transmits information, our sight transmits information, our taste, touch, all the senses. And then your intuition, instincts, and all that gets activated, and you've still got more information coming in. So you have to have certain filters and practices in place to determine what's truth for you. Uranus is always going to wake up what's truth for you, okay? It basically likes to zap away the crustiness that's grown around any kind of stagnation that you've gotten into. And so again, this is internal emotional because it's near the moon right now. And if we can liberate ourselves internally, then planting the seeds of the Scorpio new moon are going to be so rich because we can conceive something completely new and different for body and soul. Very important dynamic between Taurus Scorpio. And then when I get into the bonus material, I do talk about how this is also a prelude, and just a heads up, to the incoming Gemini-Sag eclipses, which are the very next month. So we know that eclipses always wake up change too, and radical, unexpected things that we got to deal with, right? But first things first, Sun and Uranus is a big deal that does happen annually, and it depends on what sign Uranus is in, but for now and for the next several years, it's in Taurus. So every year when Sun's in Scorpio, it's going to oppose Uranus at some point. The fact that it falls on our full moon and it's a blue moon adds to the magic, let's just say. So be ready for surprises with this energy. Your routine may be disrupted by you and or others. Now is not the time to be practical, nor is it time to make any huge decisions. What it is best for is experimenting with alternative modes of expression. A part of you undergoes a mini transformation under this energy's influence because it wakes up a part of you that is requiring expression right now. And if I wanted to be kind, I would say soon, but I don't even think we have that much wiggle room. You may not recognize it right away, but you have changed. You are a new you, and it's time you acknowledge that fact so everyone else can too. So Scorpio babies, happy birthday. And that same day, full moon in Taurus is lighting up where any excesses or famines are hindering the seeds you want to plant with the upcoming Scorpio new moon. The energy supports releasing that which is no longer important to you or no longer a priority in your life so that a new form can come into being. We have to release it. If it's not a priority, let it go. If it's not bringing you a return on investment, let it go. Taurus is always going to clear that up. Taurus energy can reveal where you've become stagnant, and the word that keeps coming to mind over and over again is movement. It's time to move your energy in a new way. Or perhaps it's time to create a moving meditation for yourself that helps you get back in touch with your own body. Scorpio likes to release and purify, while Taurus likes to acquire and solidify. So this is the best time of year to go through all your stuff, quote unquote stuff, energetic stuff, physical stuff, environmental stuff, whatever it is, whether internal or external, or a bit of both usually, and release as if you were moving into a smaller space. Downsize your life, and as your personal clearing unfolds, this year we will move through the Leo last quarter moon, November 8th, which is going to push you a little harder to stay heart-centered and authentic. Either way, it's time to review your individual self-love and self-worth issues as we release outer aspects of our lives and inner aspects of our being that used to be important. They used to be relevant or useful, but they've lost their life force energy, and we need to make space for new life now. We can create brand new ground for planting in the spring. In other words, clear out in preparation for, and then fill in your own blank with your own creative baby that's wanting to incarnate at this time. This is a potent time for consciously co-creating with the life-death-life cycle. And so what in or around you needs to die so that something of greater value can come into existence. Lighten the load there and open to conceiving a whole new life or a whole new way of life for yourself. We are reconnecting to Source this month, so renew your connection to that which nourishes and sustains you with gratitude and faith in the future that we are all seeding together now. So this is a powerful seed point in Scorpio. We conceive the new year. This is way behind the scenes work. This is very personal. This is soul work. This is the work no one else can do for you. So we check in with our soul during Scorpio time, and we check in with the ancestors. Again, some people do this, some people don't, but it is a time to just sort of bow your head and give a little nod to the last 7 generations and dedicate yourself to the work you're capable of this lifetime, which will serve the next 7 generations. And it's such a powerful exercise to just know that just you working on you is contributing to the social collective betterment. And so let's start there. Let's do what we can, when we can, where we can, and stay together, right? So I put in a video here that I just made going over the Taurus full moon. That's a little fun bonus material. So enjoy that. And I want to thank you again for being part of my community. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.